day. He's back tomorrow from vacation. Sam Cohen, Samuel L. Cohen, our executive producer. He is always along for the ride, the first voice you'll hear if you call in. If you want to call in, if you want to gripe this morning, 888-388-0957. 10-9 loss. The Rays fought back against Detroit last night at the Trop, but giving up a gazillion home runs, started off early. I don't even know if Dingler's done yet with his dingers. Came close to a third yesterday late in that game. But, yeah, this is part of baseball. 162. This is part of a long baseball season. And I see on the text line, this is the beginning of our slide. This is from last night. A lot of people last night after the game texting in after 31 runs in 4 games, and this one isn't even over. Better start looking for some pitching. These pitchers are a joke. This is ridiculous. This is the Tigers getting embarrassed. I got a text from somebody yesterday who said on the drive with T-Kraz was dogging on the Tigers for how bad they are, and the Rays should whoop up on them. Well, he's right. The Rays should have whooped up on them. They didn't. That's baseball, right? So they bounced back today. Detroit threw everything they had at the Rays yesterday, threw every pitcher they had, it seemed like. And then the Rays bounce back today and hope for some better things. Like, we have to expect Griffin Jax to, at times, as he navigates through this new role as a starter, to get banged up a little bit. And yesterday he got banged up quite a bit for the tune of 6 earned runs, giving up a ton of bombs. Don't want to see that. Taylor Walls gets hurt in the game yesterday. Chandler Simpson, and by the way, Taylor Walls' hamstring, he's been dealing with this issue. They say it's precautionary. We'll see. I'm concerned. Injuries are piling up. Now it's just this weird thing is happening. It happens during a long baseball season where just weird stuff happens. Chandler Simpson sliding into second. The helmet bounces off the base and ricochets right back in his face. And he's bleeding. And then Valade comes in there and hits an absolute moonshot. And when Valade does that, it makes me think, okay, it'd be nice to have that power consistently in the lineup. But it's a loss for the Rays yesterday, and now you got to bounce back and do it against Detroit and win this series, which I think they will. I like the fight. Like, I enjoyed the fight yesterday, Sam. I like that because of the tarps off in left field. If you start to get a little momentum, the energy kind of reverberates through the Trop, whereas in years past, you'd have to really get back in that game, actually get in the game, tie the game, win the game for the Trop to really get going like that. I thought they got going. They hung in there yesterday.
Yeah, you're just not, especially with this, and we've seen some good offense recently, and we've seen some struggle. You're not going to win many games when Jonathan Aranda goes 0 for 5 from the dish.
And a good chance late in that game where he could have contributed. I'm with you. I thought he was going to come through there.
He did, too. I've noticed this, too, recently. Last night, and I want to say it was maybe the Saturday game against the Angels with Richie Palacios. You talk about a guy that plays with a lot of emotion. I mean, he's like me when I snap Hazel-Shank a 7-iron from like 170 out. When he strikes out, man, he is like frustrated.
He's hot. He runs hot. Like we saw the other, I think Friday night when I was in the building, he gets into third base and he's just pumping that crowd up. So you're right. I think he runs hot and cold at times.
He had that chance late. It was either the 7th or the 8th inning when they had a man on second and third, I believe.
He popped out.
Yeah. So right after
that was the 8th inning.
Yeah, right after he had stung that ball down the left field line, just fouled. But yeah, I mean, again, you're just not gonna with this lineup. You're not gonna win many games when Aranda goes 0 for 5. But shout out Ryan Valade with an absolute tank after Simpson wore his own helmet off his teeth.
He killed that ball. He mashed that ball. And credit, you said, I completely agree with you that they won't win many games like that. Hey, listen, you give up 10 runs and you're the Rays, your odds are not great that you're going to even be in that game. For them to fight back, and I know it's one of the worst teams in baseball in the Tigers, but for them to fight back against them and actually give themselves, like you mentioned, a chance with Aranda up there who grounded out to the pitcher, and then you had, in the bottom of the 8th inning, down 1, you had the lead run on second base for Palacios, second and third, and he flies out to center field. So I thought that effort was tremendous. 162 games. You never want to lose to bad teams. You want to eat up against the bad teams. They've been presented a really good portion of the schedule here when they're not playing great baseball and they're dealing with a ton of injuries. So I thought they missed an opportunity yesterday, especially late, to just kind of erase what was a bad game. I mean, let's say you win that game 11-10, right? It looked ugly, but you got the win. Like, that's what it's all about, is getting the W and moving on and improving on that.
We talked about this yesterday, though, Aaron, when we were talking about college baseball for a little bit. It's baseball. This isn't crazy to lose to a bad team. Everybody's going to have your number on a given night. It sucks with what's been going on with the Rays, whether it was last week and then you finally think you reset winning 2 or 3 against the Angels. So I know that's going to be the cause for concern on the text line, especially like we can see what people were texting last night. But again, like, it's baseball. There's 162 games. You'd like to beat the bad teams, but this isn't like App State knocking off Michigan. It's
right.
It's not even close to the same thing.
Totally different. I think what you need to put together on a football field to beat a giant of a football team, very different than what you need to present on the baseball diamond to beat a team that's better than you on paper. I completely agree with that. A pitcher can get hot, dominate a game. Bats can go quiet for the other team. Like, it happens all the time. You brought up college baseball. I said yesterday, like, it's one thing I do want to get more into. I'd like to get into it. And I said I find softball entertaining too. I just haven't gotten into it. I gotta tip my cap to, obviously, Texas Tech. If you missed it last night, I'll tip my cap to Texas Tech. They won 2 against Alabama to come back, and they're moving on to the national championship. I believe they're playing Texas, which is that's a cool little rivalry right there. Now, typically, I'm not paying attention to this stuff. Now, you got a walk-off home run from Texas Tech. The walk-off in the first game came from the bat of Jason Williams' sister. Daughter, sorry. White Chocolate. But if you don't know what's going on, I know not everyone's in the Barstool universe. It's something I do pay attention to. I think because I follow a lot of the personalities, maybe my feed on Twitter and Instagram, but more so Twitter, pops up a lot of Barstool stuff. They do a really tremendous job of telling stories and capturing moments that I don't think would have been as popular years ago. What's happening right now is Williams, who was a famous basketball player in the NBA, he is part of Barstool, the Barstool universe now. They sent out one of their guys who's done a really good job kind of storytelling this and documenting this to document his time as the father in the stands with his daughter playing in the College World Series for softball. Now, this kind of started because she got in a fight with her former program, Florida, during one of their games. They were hitting her with pitches time after time. He freaked out. I think Jason Williams, he got ejected.
He did.
So that's
that video
when
from I want to say it was like a parking garage that somebody took of him where they're like shooting down into the stadium. Top tier internet content.
Right, and if it's not for that person who captured, then that person wasn't even from Barstool. They captured Jason Williams getting ejected. That's when Dave Portnoy, who leads Barstool, probably made the call like, hey, we should probably be following this. Now, without that, I don't know how much personally I'm getting invested in this. But because of that, I think, and that's why I tip my cap to start the morning, my whole feed and timeline this morning is Texas Tech winning 2 games, walk-off home run in the first game to advance to the national championship. And I don't think that I have that if it's not for the Barstool universe. And then it kind of gets me interested going, maybe I should pay attention to this. This seems pretty interesting, exciting. Then you see the college baseball stuff coming on my feed, and I go, wow, like West Virginia, they're doing some interest. This is exciting. So I think that what is different from years past, where we used to look just specifically to television to tell us what is exciting and what to watch. I think now, because you get it pumped up if you're following the same people on social media, it elevates it to a next level. So I'm pretty impressed with how Barstool can capture that moment. And then you get, it seems like everything points in their direction. His daughter, Jason Williams' daughter, hits the walk-off home run, and he's going nuts in the crowd. So it was very cool to watch that.
It's been absolutely electric. We talked about it very briefly yesterday, but Najee Kennedy, I mean, you talk about big NIL money, and we know Texas Tech has all the oil money in the world with Cody Campbell. You're talking about a softball player in the age of NIL who's getting $1 million+ a year. The girl is crazy. Is just an absolute horse.
$1 million a year, like how do you?
I don't know how they recoup.
How do you
it
justify
when it comes to
that?
Yeah, but I mean, she throws like 125 pitches a game. I think she pitched twice yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, in the first game, and then a couple pitches in the second game.
I also like that back-to-back, like softball, because it's not. I like that. I don't want to be there forever. I'd rather watch it. 2 games is obviously long, but the fact that you can play 2 games in one day shows you that Softball moves.
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's exciting. And special shout out to the Kansas Jayhawk after Georgia Tech lost yesterday, hosting a super regional. First
How
time
about
ever.
it? Let's
Jayhawks.
go back to the oil money. That'd be nice, right?
If we could have that. I mean, we got big money out in Kansas. Shout out David Booth.
No, but I'm talking personally. Like, I was watching a documentary the other day, and like when the Texas oil fields just started to explode, and they found the oil. It's like imagine that.
There's that clip of Jerry Jones. I don't know if you've ever seen it, where they're talking about his first oil rig, and he's like, I heard it coughing. I knew I was going to be rich.
I like to hear a cough, and whatever that means. I heard it coughing. It's like, oh, here we go. Imagine you hear it coughing. You're like, here we go. And then it's nothing. But then oil comes out, spewing out, and then you look around. You're like, everyone get away. My oil. My oil.
It's like the movie Sarah's Oil came out last year.
Never seen that.
Good movie.
But I can imagine if I was in the 1800s and I struck oil, the first thing I would do is I'd just get my whatever rifle I had, musket on my back, and I would just point at everyone around me and go, walk away. This is my oil.
I'd probably call my mom. Be like, what do I do?
Hey, Mom, 1800s. What are you calling her on in the 1800s? You got to send a horseback. By the time you get the message back to you,
fair.
that oil's taken, man. It's
That's
claimed.
probably fair.
It's claimed. You got to think about those type of things.